Utah's governor trekking to central Utah today, signing a bill into law that he says will make a big difference here for rural schools.
Yeah, news specialist Andrew Adams is live with that story and how it will affect thousands of kids. Andrew.
Well, basically, the measure allocates an extra $16 million per year starting in fiscal year 2026, and the governor says that's going to be a very big deal. Now, he traveled down to Manti Elementary for a bill signing today. He greeted the kids there and then had them gather around as he tried to explain how that money and changes in the state formula for necessarily existent small schools funding would impact them.
Making sure that we're getting enough funding there has always been a challenge. It's easier when you're up in a big city, right? There's lots of businesses and lots of big buildings and they pay lots of taxes. And it's a lot harder in rural Utah when we don't have the same amount of taxes. And so sometimes we need a little help. And that's what this bill is about.
In very simple terms, the governor says the law will add to the school's weighted pupil unit. It sounds like the money won't just be for hiring teachers. It will be up to local discretion how the money is used. The governor's still reviewing many bills left over from the legislative session. He still has about 70 left to go. Back to the studio.
All right, Andrew Adams live at the Capitol tonight. Andrew, thank you. Kevin, join us right now. Look at that shot.
Talks to more neighbors.
Utah Governor Spencer Cox has signed a new bill into law he says will be a big help to rural schools.
He just returned from Manti. News specialist Andrew Adams joins us with details. Andrew?
The bill is numbered HB 396, but the important number here is an additional $16 million that will be headed to rural schools in the future. The governor explained the math to school kids in Manti a little bit earlier today.
Are you a leader in me school? I do know that.
It isn't every day that a small-town school gets a distinguished visitor.
Wow. Thanks for welcoming me. This is incredible.
Governor Spencer Cox showed up to Manti Elementary to make a presentation students rarely get to see.
Okay, last one.
Signing a bill from the legislature and turning it into law.
Right, there we go.
HB 396 may not be the easiest law to explain to kids. It boosts the weighted pupil unit and changes the funding formula for necessarily existent small schools. But the bottom line is roughly $16 million more per year for rural Utah schools.
It's a lot harder in rural Utah when we don't have the same amount of taxes. And so sometimes we need a little help. And that's what this bill is about.
They can decide, do we want more concurrent enrollment? Do we want more technical education? Do we just need another school counselor that maybe covers a couple of schools?
The bill's sponsor says the money will bring flexibility to small-town schools, something the governor was glad to sign.
I just believe in our rural schools so much and making sure that we're getting enough funding there.
Well, the law pledges the $16 million starting in the 2026 fiscal year. Busy time for the governor. Still has 70 bills that were passed by the legislature that he still has to review. At the Capitol, Andrew Adams, KSL-5 News.
All right, Andrew, thank you. Kevin, I was trying to see on those